All right, hello everyone. I am Crota, and well, I'm just showing replays here, trying to figure out how to cast Hex. I do have the replay system. Thank you to everyone at Hex for sending this out to me as well. And, well, I'm going to go ahead and experiment trying to cast a particular game. This is going to be a Renner versus an Uzuu Bonewalker matchup. Already strange right off the bat. I believe no one mulled again. I'm going to go ahead and start this and see how I do. Please leave comments in the feedback. This is my first time actually trying to cast. Well, it's not my first time. I did try for the Hex Limited. Or, excuse me, the Hex Invitational back in 2015. But that seems like... Well, yeah, that's... 2 years ago. That seems, or 2016. Yeah, it seems quite a ways away. And let's go ahead and just get things started. So gonna go ahead, open it up. It looks as though, whose turn is it? Oh, do I need to go over here? All right, there goes prep phase. Gonna go ahead and play down a blood shard and pass it over to his opponent. A little strange that he doesn't have the necessary secondary shard, as we now see Teresa Renner gonna go ahead and play down that coin. Want to get that blood shard first. Ooh, top decks the blood shard. Can he do it one more time? Doing so would give him the advantage and open up in the blood's favor. Diamond blood coming in from Renner, withering gaze, and it's gonna steal the blood's favor after realizing that his opponent is now low on resources. He's gonna be able to top deck a third. He still gets the third, plays down the blood shard, and decides to hold off on the Bride of the Dam. Now, we see a Necropolis coin once again coming into play, and it doesn't seem like there's any follow-up action there, as I believe Bonewalker is just going to pass back to his opponent. Renner going to open up, play down that diamond shard, probably play down a Lorgoyle, or no, doesn't want to play anything as of yet, as we're going to see a Withering Gaze go out. And, well, that seems to be a little bit of a bug. I am sure that they know about this already as things are getting away. Lorgoyle now gets placed down, followed by a blood shard. And Renner's going to top deck, steal a blood shard. And that actually hurts his opponent pretty heavily. Lorgoyle going to go ahead and shuffle a card back into the crypt before it gets strangled, as it now goes back to the Bonewalker's turn. Bonewalker places down a blood shard, and now could possibly play down the Bride of the Damned with the -1/-1, being able to steal something. But we do see a hero fall in his opponent's hand, and I believe he does know about it. Playing that Bride of the Damned without protection would pretty much mean ending up having that in the discard pile immediately, as we see him ditch a coin, draw an additional card, and we'll see what that follow-up play will be. All right, this is a definitely control matchup, as the Bride of the Dam is going to make its way out. It's going to hit the board. Oh, why wait? Oh, that's why you cannot. All right, so I need to actually explain that there for just a moment. Playing the Bride of the Dam, you can always react to your opponent's actions. He played the Bride of the Dam, and he had no way to interact with it on the chain. The Bride of the Dam then goes into play on the board, and it is still the Uzuu Bonewalker's priority. There is no timing window in between the Bride of the Dam coming into play and then playing the second Bride of the Dam in order to hero fall and try to lose that other card. So very, very smart play there, making sure, and those are those minor mechanic differences. The other Bride of the Dam was already on the chain, and that's the reason why you have one Bride of the Dam, or you're going to have two Bride of the Dams in the crypt. Going to go ahead and start things back up once more. One Bride of the Dam in the crypt, and I believe there are two in the one in the void, as we now see a rot cast, and now, hey, two Bride of the Dams in the crypt. Blood's favor gonna go ahead and Blood Siphon, removing the remainder of the Bride of the Dam, so no more Bride of the Dams at all, as it goes back into a control matchup again. All right, Bride of the Dam coming in from the other side this time around. A hero fall does come into play. He didn't have a second one, and it looks as though there are now going to be three Bride of the Dams. Well, the Bride of the Dams are just currently damned, as we now see a steal intel taking the Lorgoyle Curator, and now coming back into play as well. Lorgoyle Curator gonna start emptying his opponent's crypt, trying to make sure he can't scrounge, as another hero fall does come into play as well. All right, a lot of fast action coming here, as the steal intel gonna steal back the Lorgoyle Curator, play it back into play, and also play down a blood shard. So Lorgoyle Curator on the board now, and it is most likely going to be used to try and steal or just deny a whole bunch of Withering Gaze now stolen. Withering Gaze taking, I don't know what that card was because it was showing me the backing, but the Lorgo Curator should end up pulling cards back to the other side. All right, Lorgoyle Curator is on the board. Gonna go ahead and play down a Strangle, and he forgets to attack. All right, so that Lorgoyle is on the board, and he forgot to attack. It's like forgetting to drain for 1. And we'll see if that 1 point of damage does make a big difference. However, perhaps he suspects that his opponent has the Butcher in hand. You can see Bonewalker is currently sitting on that Butcher as well, and should be able to destroy it. So perhaps this is all a calculated play, trying to get the Withering Gaze, being able to get more tomes back into his deck. I'll never know as we now see things continue on. All right. I'm going to go ahead and Lorgoyle Curator, grab some of those additional cards, taking the Steel Intel, turning them into Tomes of Lore, and having them enter the draw deck. All right, coin, discard, going to have a Blood's Favor, plays it out, most likely going to end up drawing 2 cards. There's the Blood Pack, draw 1, draw 2, and now has a From the Ashes as a comeback mechanic if necessary. Lorgoyle Curator does attack this time around, and, well, it is going to get absolutely butchered. Lorgoyle Curator goes to the crypt as we now move on to Renner's turn again. Renner going to go ahead and play down a Blood's Favor, draw 2 additional cards. One of them, 2 from the Ashes now in play, and now also has, well, plenty of resources. We're going to see a Reap, pass, draw a card, pass back to his opponent. 3 from the Ashes now in Renner's hand, as we now see a Tome of Lore going to be... what? No, why wouldn't you play the Tome of Lore? All right, Lorgoyle Curator now back out onto the field. It is going to try and, well, Hero Fall, Tome of Lore now goes back in. Lorgoyle Curator will go to the crypt. That was a 1 of, so it is not going to be able to have any additional units go to the void. Blood Pact, drawing more cards again, a Strangle and a Blood Shard taking or playing the Tome of Lore now, and we'll see what he does with it. He is going to go ahead and sack it, draws another card, but there is not enough tomes to really make a difference as of yet. Playing down a Blood Shard, I'm going to go ahead and just Renner takes a card, play, and we'll have another Blood Shard. Coming back around, all right, Mistress of the Bones now hits the board, unable to pull anything from the crypt as the crypts are relatively empty, and I can already call this a From the Ashes will be played here in just a moment. Oh, Tome of Lore first, From the Ashes, takes the Mistress of the Bones back into play, unable to play anything from the crypt, also using the Tome of Lore, and now passing back to his opponent. Blood Shard now being placed down once again. Passing back here, we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, Reap, removing the Mistress of the Bone, and now, is he going to try and play out the Rotpaw Gang? No, he is not. Kind of, perhaps, scared of what's happening as this control match, up to 12 resources for Renner, and, 8 resources for the Bonewalker. All right, just simply passing back once again. We'll see what the follow-up play is going to be here. Just passing back and forth. Both players just in a bit of a staring competition, trying to figure out who's going to flinch first. Rotpaw Gang hits the board, and will we see a Hero Fall, or perhaps a From the Ashes? From the Ashes, drawn, top decked, but then again, he already had, no, not a top deck, already had one in hand. Plays a Tome of Lore, sacks it, draws a Blood Shard, plays the Blood Shard, and now going to move right along. All right, Rotpaw Gang going to be a very, very dangerous troop indeed. Reap going to go ahead and take out that Rotpaw Gang, gets an additional 2 Blood Shards there. Now plays the Vampire Queen. Vampire Queen now out on the board, and what will the follow-up play be? Uzuu perhaps thinking, you cannot have another From the Ashes in your hand. Little does he know, Renner plays another From the Ashes. Everything goes to the crypt. Vampire Queen comes back into play and gets 2 additional Vampire Children. All right, Renner going to go ahead and top deck. Still, surprisingly, does not have a Fallen Singularity, as that would really get the Renner cycle going. All right, Vampire Princess. It looks as though Uzuu Bonewalker has lost a bit of steam. The Queen and the units are going to be attacking here. There you go, attacking for 5 damage in the air with Life Drain, getting Renner back up to 29 hit points. And now getting a Dreadling, playing on the Rotpaw Gang. But wait, and not sacrificing it. Okay, a little bit of a play mistake there. Should have gotten that play right there. As we see a Rot Paw gang. Are we gonna have anything else happen? No, it could have. Well, hero fall. There goes the Rot Paw gang once more. All right, there goes a strangle, and I believe, oh, that's 11. Oh no, that's enough damage. So an F4 swing, lethal on the board, and Renner is going to take this match. Players getting down to 28 cards left in their draw deck. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed that cast. Let me know if you guys like these types of things, like these types of casts. Something that I've been trying to work on for quite some time, casting Warcraft 3. That pacing of that game, because it was a replay, was faster than the actual game, thereby making it faster, but hopefully I was able to keep up with the action for you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know.